Did you know if you keep smelling something that is not really there, you may be experiencing the earliest symptoms of schizophrenia? Welcome to the intriguing world of phantom smells, a phenomenon that can be as fascinating as it is alarming. These are smells that aren't present in the environment, yet you perceive them as if they were. They're not figments of your imagination, but olfactory hallucinations, a real sensory experience that can sometimes be a sign of something more serious. Let's delve a little deeper into this enigma. Our sense of smell, much like our other senses, is a complex process involving various parts of the brain. When we encounter a smell, our olfactory receptors send signals to our brain, which then interprets these signals as specific scents. But sometimes, this process can go awry, and our brain starts perceiving smells that aren't there. This is what we call a phantom smell. But what does this have to do with schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized by disturbances in thought, perception, and behavior. One of these disturbances can manifest as olfactory hallucinations, where the person smells things that are not present. It's a relatively rare symptom, but it's been observed in a small percentage of people with schizophrenia. The science behind these olfactory hallucinations is still a subject of ongoing research. Some theories suggest that they could be due to overactivity in the brain areas responsible for smell perception. Others propose that they might be caused by damage to the olfactory system or by dysfunctions in the brain's smell processing mechanisms. However, it's important to note that experiencing phantom smells doesn't necessarily mean you have schizophrenia. They can also be caused by other conditions like migraines, sinus infections, or even certain medications. That's why, if you find yourself frequently smelling things that aren't there, it's crucial to seek medical advice. So, next time you smell something out of the ordinary, it might be more than just your imagination playing tricks on you. Whether it's the sweet aroma of roses on a winter's day or the pungent smell of garlic in an empty room, remember, our senses can sometimes tell us more than meets the eye, or in this case, the nose. From phantom smells to strange occurrences around the globe, let's journey through some unusual facts. Did you know when the first president of the United States, George Washington, passed away, Napoleon Bonaparte of France was so moved that he gave a personal eulogy and ordered a 10-day mourning period for France? Quite a gesture of respect and admiration, don't you think? Journeying to the Netherlands, we find a unique approach to drug policy. Although drugs are officially illegal, it's actually legal to be under the influence of any drug. This unconventional law aims to encourage individuals to seek medical help without fear of legal consequences. Now let's turn to the world of technology. The first world leader to embrace the power of YouTube was none other than British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Back in 2007, he created his own YouTube channel, setting a digital precedent for leaders worldwide. Moving on to a lighter note, did you know that the musician Rick Astley has his own brand of beer? It's a red lager with a hint of ginger, created in collaboration with the Danish microbrewery Mikkeller. In the realm of linguistics, we encounter the most difficult Chinese character to write, Biang, which requires a staggering 62 strokes and, interestingly enough, holds no meaning. And speaking of strokes, did you know that Russia holds the record for the most man-made satellites in orbit, with a whopping 1,324 satellites? The US trails in second place with 658 satellites. Let's wrap up this global journey with a peculiar law from Switzerland. Believe it or not, it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in this country. Talk about a quiet night's sleep. The world is indeed full of peculiarities, isn't it? It's not just humans who have their quirks. The animal kingdom is full of surprising facts too. Let's dive right into it. Did you know that, in a bid to protect themselves from poachers, African elephants have been evolving without tusks? Interestingly, this protective evolution also poses a threat to their species, Tusks are an essential tool for elephants, used in foraging for food and water, and as a weapon in intraspecific conflicts. Now, how about a little language lesson? When you spot a group of rhinoceroses, you don't just call them a group. No. In the world of animals, a collection of rhinos is known as a crash. Quite fitting for such large, powerful creatures, don't you think? And for our final animal fact, let's take a journey back to the mid-1800s. A humble snail found itself glued to a specimen card in the British Museum. It remained there for 4 years before scientists realized it was still alive. Talk about slow and steady winning the race. This snail survived against all odds, proving that life, even in the smallest forms, is incredibly resilient. So there you have it, from evolution's response to poaching, to the creative naming of animal groups, and the remarkable survival story of a snail. It's clear that the animal kingdom is a treasure trove of fascinating facts. Animals never cease to amaze us, do they? As we near the end, let's explore a few more fascinating tidbits. Now, picture this. It's Halloween and you're dressed to the nines in your most elaborate costume. You're not alone. Every year, Americans collectively spend a whopping $1.5 billion on adult Halloween costumes. That's a lot of pumpkins and witches, right? Now let's switch gears a bit to something a bit more serious. Have you ever taken acetaminophen for a headache or a fever? It's one of the most popular painkillers out there. But did you know it does more than just relieve pain? It also restrains masculinity and dulls emotions. Quite a shocking side effect for such a common medication, wouldn't you agree? To wrap up our journey of discovery, let's take a virtual trip to Switzerland. Now, Switzerland is known for many things. Its stunning landscapes, delicious chocolates, and precise watches. But there's a quirky law that may surprise you. In Switzerland, it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. Yes, you heard that right. So, if you ever find yourself in Switzerland, you might want to remember this unusual rule. Whether it's the impact of painkillers or peculiar laws, there's always something new to learn. So, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. It's full of surprises just waiting to be discovered.